Hello everyone, this is Joelle and welcome to this 10-minute video to stretch out the quadriceps and the hip flexors. You may want one yoga block or a book for today, or if you're a little bit tighter you might want two yoga blocks. It's not a bad idea to have a strap or some sort of elastic with you as well. I'll be showing some moves with and without. So we're going to get started on our backs here, and if you do have a block you could stick it under the hips. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. And we're just going to pull the right knee towards the chest as we extend the left leg long, pressing that left heel away from the body. So you might know that earlier this week I released essentially a 10-minute part 1 of this routine for pain in the quadriceps and in the front of the thigh. And in that one we really looked after our knees without any deep knee flexion. And today we'll be going a little bit deeper into our stretches to really get at the flexibility of the quads and the hip flexors. So we can just switch legs, extend through that right heel, pressing that foot away as we pull the left knee into the chest now. You could close the eyes here. So if anything today feels like a bit too much, you might want to try that part 1 video first, which I'll link down below, and then you can always progress to today's video. Or if you have 20 minutes, you might do them back to back and see how you feel by the end of it. Quads and hip flexors tend to get very tight in today's society from all the sitting that most of us do and just the way that we live our lives staying still all the time. So good for you for carving out 10 or 20 minutes to take care of yourself. So let's lift up now. You can move the block out of the way. And we're just going to make our way either into a kneeling position, so sitting back on the heels like I am here, or if that's not comfortable, you could sit up on a block with the legs extended in front of you. And then either way, we're going to start massaging our quadriceps. So really get in there, use the thumbs, use the fingertips, you can use the fists to kind of rock the quads a little bit side to side. Just start to notice exactly where there might be some tightness or perhaps some soreness, and just allow yourself to kind of enjoy that feeling of taking care of yourself. And then we'll place the fingertips behind the body and squeezing the glutes, we're going to lift the hips off of the heels and then set them back down. And if that's a little bit too much, you can use 2 blocks behind the body, place your hands on top of them, and essentially give yourself a little bit more space here for those pelvis rocks. You might press a little bit higher each time, just really feeling that stretch, a little bit of extra mobility in the front of the thighs. Beautiful. And now we're going to do probably my favorite quad stretch. So bring the legs into a 90-90 position here with 2 right angles with both knees. And you can either stay up on the palms, or if the flexibility is there, you might lean back onto the elbows. And what we're doing here is just kind of enjoying the stretch in the outer left quadricep here. And you can keep a little bit of engagement in the glutes. You might even think about pressing the hips in a diagonal, a forwards diagonal motion. So just experiment with that a little bit, see where the stretch feels right to you. And then we can lift up and we'll simply swivel our knees over to the other side. We'll find that 90-90 position again with both knees. And again, staying up tall on the palms. Or perhaps, if you don't have any material in the way like I did here, perhaps leaning back onto the elbows. And again, keeping just a little bit of activity in the glutes. Pressing them in a diagonal forwards motion. And you could again close the eyes here, just calm your breathing. And just notice how some of these postures make us feel, which ones maybe feel better than others. And you can, of course, come back to this sequence or to any of these postures as much as you'd like. Well done. So we can come up, we're just going to swivel a little bit in this windshield wiper motion from left to right, just to shake out any tension from those two longer stretches that we just did. Very nice. And now we can take our time getting into the start of our lunge series. So we're going to step our right foot forwards, either staying up on fingertips here, or you might place 2 blocks, one under each hand again. And then tucking those back toes on the left foot, you're going to lift the left knee, and we're just going to do these little pulses here. So up and down with the hips. For some bonus points, you can squeeze through that back glute, and that'll probably help you feel it a little bit more in the front of the left thigh and hip flexor. Then we can set that left knee down gently. We're just going to hold here for a few seconds. So really think about pressing the hips down towards the floor. And again, engaging that back glute will probably help a little bit with that. And we could be down on the palms or up on the fingertips or on blocks here. It really doesn't matter as long as you're feeling a stretch. And now we'll go even a little bit deeper. You can reach back with that left hand and grab hold of that left foot. Now, if that's not available, another great option is to use a strap or a resistance band like I am here and kind of lasso that back foot. And then you might press away either into the hand or into the strap and just moving that back foot forwards and back. Now, if none of that works for today, you can just stay in that low lunge and just leave the left foot where it is. Never any pressure to force ourselves into something that might not feel right for today. And then we can release that back foot. Well done, and we're just going to switch sides. So we'll step that left foot forward now. Again, either bringing the hands onto blocks or keeping fingertips on the floor. We'll tuck the back toes to lift that right knee off the mat. And again, we'll come into those tiny little pulses, little rocking motion up and down here, keeping the glutes engaged. If you have typed quads like I do, this will definitely wake them up. I try to do this one on a regular basis, so filming this video was a good reminder for me as well. And I hope that you're also feeling the benefits already. Then we can bring that right knee gently onto the floor. You choose the hand position you'd like, either on palms, fingertips, blocks, and we're just going to breathe here for a few moments. Sinking the hips towards the mat. Thanking our body for challenging itself, and we might challenge a little bit further by grabbing hold of that right foot now, either with the right hand or with a strap of some kind. And again, you might move the foot forwards and back. You could bring the left elbow up onto the left knee, if that feels nice. Maybe just hold here and really drive that back foot into the hand. Press, press, press. And then on an exhale, you might be able to come a little bit further. Bring that foot an inch or two forwards, closer to the glutes. So always just options. And this is one of those where if you do it regularly and it's tough in the beginning to grab that foot, you might be surprised at yourself a couple of weeks from now. So we're all done with our lunges. We can make our way now, take your time, onto our backs. And we're going to bring the feet apart, the width of our mat, and we'll drop both knees over towards the right. And you could either stay as we did in our part 1 video, or to go a little bit further, you might tuck the left foot underneath the body with the help of the hand. And again, closing the eyes here. And then we can release, and we'll take it over to the other side. So bringing both knees down towards the ground on the left, either holding here or catching hold of that right foot with the right hand to pull that right heel underneath the hips or towards the hips. And again, this one can be pretty deep, so no pressure at all. Find the stretch that's really working for you today without comparing it to anyone else or any previous practice that you may have had. I like to bring one hand to the belly here just to feel my breath. It usually helps me release a tiny bit further. Beautiful, and then we can just release that. We'll hug both knees into the chest now, rocking a little bit side to side, noticing how we're feeling. And if you do have a block, you might lift the hips up again to place it underneath. And we're just going to extend both feet up towards the sky. This waterfall pose similar to legs up the wall. Just a really nice restorative posture for us to end on, giving the legs a little bit of an opportunity to be weightless. And I do hope that if you enjoyed this video, you'll hit the like button and leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel for 2 free videos every week. Let me know if you liked this 2-part routine and if you've had a chance to try both videos. And I do hope to see you again soon. Thanks for practicing with me today, and namaste.